Evening peeps, evening, welcome back to the channel. Yes, Paul Scale, how you doing, brother? So yes, we're back tonight with round 7 of the Chewwitt Racing Mini Cooper Cup, hosted there by Tanso Racing Group. Make sure you get yourselves over to Facebook, click all those like buttons on the Chewwitt Racing family and the Tanso Racing Group. Make sure you get yourselves over to D.90 as well over there on Facebook. And click old like on D.90's page as well. He's streaming his race live. So if you want to see it from a driver's perspective, then go catch up with D.90 over there on Facebook. But don't do that. Stick around here and we'll catch all the drivers racing. So yes, it is round 7. We were at Brands Hatch last week. Were we at Brands Hatch last week? I don't even know. I forget. Let's have a look at some scores then. Where were we? Oh yeah, we were at Brands Hatch. There you go. So, leading the way at the minute is Rob Scott. He's on 199 points. D-Dot is closing in with 176 points in second. Cutler's in third with 170 points. Pajonski in fourth with 154 points. We've got Hatterlad in fifth with 131 points. IT 43 in sixth with 125 points. Old Crawler in seventh with 112 points. We've got Ricky J, he's got 102 points for 8th. DMK DK10, he's got 88 points for 9th. Old Pops has got 77 points for 10th. Did that even come out right? 77 points for 10th. We drop down to the second half of the table. Giraffe Head is in 11th with 74 points. We've got DMK Aldo in 12th with 70 points. Alien Swift 13th with 68 points. DDR Hulky with 47 points in 14th. Forky Jonesy 15th with 32 points. We've got One-Eyed Lou in 16th with 24 points alongside Dazzler 67 in 17th with 24 points as well. And then Shuri backing us up with 22 points. So some of those latter drivers are stand-ins when we've had weeks off. Drivers not able to make it. We've filled the lobby up with other drivers. So merch still available, people. Stickers and t-shirts. Let's just get rid of that out of the way now. Bosh, blam, there you go. Stickers, t-shirts, boom, bam, pow. Have some of that. Right. Ooh. Let's get ourselves into this race then. So round 7, we are here at Tsukuba Circuit. I am on glitch alert as well, so I've been told to mention it in the comments if I can see anyone glitching out. So let's have a quick flick through, just see if we can see anyone launching the way around the track at a bit of a weird angle. Pajonski look good, Millerman looks good, D-Dot looks good, Rob Scott looks good, IT 43, no glitching. Giraffe Head, no glitching. Crawler, no glitching. Cutler, no glitching. Oh, maybe a couple of drivers having a slight coming together or just backing off, allowing drivers to come through. But DMK10 looks okay. Ricky J's just gone through, he doesn't look too bad either. Aldo in the pits at the minute. So hopefully we've got glitching out of the way. We'll see. So yeah, Tsukuba Circuit, let's get ourselves on with, let me find, oh, I'll tell you what, we'll stick with Pajonski. Go for an onboard lap. So it is only a 10-minute qualifier tonight. It is 3 sprint races of 15 minutes. They can use super soft tyres for qualifying. There is no tyre wear, no fuel depletion. But when it comes to the races, they have to use one of each compound for each race. So they can only use one compound per race. While we're doing that, we'll just go for a lap on board with Pajonski. So down that start-finish straight into turn 1, which is a hairpin. There's 3 naughty little hairpins on this circuit. Through turns 2 and 3 into turns 4, which is the second of the hairpins. You may see 1 or 2 drivers grabbing a big pile of handbrake through some of these turns. Turn 5, 90 degrees, tricky one to keep on track at full speed. Through turn 6, turn 7 into the third of the hairpins, hard on the brakes. Again, opportunities for drivers to sling on up the inside here at Tsukuba. And onto this back straight all the way up towards the final turn. It's a short circuit, this one, but it is a punchy, fighty track. Again, 3 50-minute sprint races. We should see some good racing here tonight. Into that final turn, as much power as possible to go across the line. A little onboard lap for Pajonski then, thank you. So, qualifying time so far, what are we? Just about halfway through this qualifying session. D-Dot has just taken top spot at the minute at 102.4. Drivers have said they've got it down to the 101s, so we'll see if we can see anyone drop those times below the 102s. Rob Scott on 102.5 for him for second, Pajonski third, 102.6. Fourth, 102.8. Aldo in fifth, 103.1. Crawler in 6th at the minute, 103.2. Old Pop 7th with a 103.2 as well. Cutler, 103.2 for him. 103.4 for IT43. Ricky J's on a 103.6. Giraffe Head is no hot lap yet from Giraffe Head. And DMK DK10 is on a 104. Giraffe Head must have put a time in. He's ahead of DMK, DK10, and DK10's put a hot lap in 104.8. But it is Dida on pole at the minute. What have we got? 4.5 minutes left of qualifying. 400s up at the minute. Rob Scott just needs to break off 1 chunk of dairy milk. There he is. Let's see if he'll relinquish a chunk of dairy milk to gain that 400s. Windows open, he's not looking good. Saving it all up to pay Cutler off the debt he owes him. It's an inside joke there. If you don't know, you don't know. D-Dot's still on it. Minutes left of this qualifying session. Anyone take D-Dot off that top spot? Still at 102.8 from D-Dot then. Where's Rob Scott just coming out to the line now? It's not quicker, 102.7. Where's Pajonski? Putting in purple sectors. Last lap was a 103.1 though. Has everyone got their weight set? Oh yeah, no weight from last week, it was Enduros. So the top 3 from race 1 have to carry over a little bit of extra weight into race 2, and then the top 3 from race 2 have to then carry over a little bit of weight into race 3 as well. Race 1 grid order is set up by this qualifying session. Race 2 grid order is reverse grid from race 1, and race 3 grid order is finishing positions from race 2. Understand that? If not, try and explain it again if you let me know. What have you put in then? Pajonski 102.8, still not quick enough. He was purple sectors, but not enough to stick him onto that pole position. Some middleman going to pop in. Not quicker again at 107.4. Struggling here then to get it below the 102s. Thrashing it through that final turn. What's he got? 103.1. Cutler now through this final turn. Can he do it? good. Peter Jones, evening all. Have a good race, everybody, while I am stuck in work. Oh, sorry, dude. No racing for you tonight. Still on 102.4 then for D-Dot. 106 on that last lap. This is coming up to final minute then. Again, no glitching that I can see from any drivers. That's a good sign. Everybody looking right, they've got a healthy connection. Good. On track. Awesome. So about 35 seconds left of this qualifying session. If they do cross the line before that time runs out, they will get to finish the next lap. D-Dot's going to make it. Most of the drivers are going to make it through. Pujonsky, though, has snuck his way in. 102.354. So 10th quicker than than D-Dot. Still out on track though. Opportunity for that next lap. But that is qualifying over. Pujonsky pulls over. Let me just chuck that up in this. That's another thing I've got to do. What? Look, E, D, O, N, E. So, D-Dot. He's still on a decent lap. Final turn to go. He'll be absolutely pushing it now, knowing that Pujonsky's just pipped him for that pole. He's unable to retake that pole. So Rob Scott also unable to take. Cutler slowed down. He's tricked himself into 4th position though, right at the end of quali, 102.7. But it is looking good for Pujonsky on pole. We've only got no other drivers coming around, so it is Pujonsky on pole. Everyone else is bunched up in a pile here, smashed themselves into a corner. The sand, look, waiting. A little bit of damage on board for Ricky J. No Alien Swift, unfortunately. No Hulky tonight either. A couple of drivers, unfortunately, unable to make it. It does happen. So now drivers will be throwing themselves in the pits to make their tyre selections for race 1. Again, they have to use a single compound per race, but they do have to use all 3 compounds throughout tonight's 3 races. A soft, a medium and a hard. Aldo's trying to take the camera out. And they can only use that 1 compound per race. Again, they shouldn't need, they won't need fuel on a 15-minute race, not unless they puncture a tank, which is an impossibility. Or Cutler sets it up with no fuel in the tank. I don't think that'll happen though. So we'll see what tyres people have got on. So Cutler's still got super softs on, but he'll go in the pits and change his tyres out. Rob Scott's got a set of mediums on for race 1. Millerman has gone for hards for race 1. Aldo has gone for a set of hards for race 1. Pops has not bothered to change his tyres yet. Ricky J's gone for the hards for race 1. It is a popular choice for race 1. IT43s. Oh, sorry, that's old crawler. Also, not changed tyre. Giraffe head, not changed tyre. DMK DK10, not changed tyre. Alright, there we go. He's put on a set of hards. Hards on for IT43. Giraffe head, you can't use the supers, brother. Or you, Mr. Crawler. Or you, Mr. Pops. That's cheetah-lating. We're not having that. Oh, Cutler, come on. You're lobby host. Let me pop that up in the chat. Come on then. There you go. We don't want a. We don't have to go for a restart because people are on the wrong tyres, do we? The fuel, says Bajonski, of course. There you go. I thought he was going to go straight into start race, but he's reset the lobby. All right. So hopefully everybody's going to change tyres now. Then. Yeah, looks like it. Pops is on softs. Old Crawler's gone for the hards. Yeah, okay. I'll shut up now, boys. About your tyres. All right. Apologies. So wait for everyone to get on track and then we'll get on with race 1 tonight. 15-minute sprint here. It doesn't look like most drivers have gone for the hard tyre. It's a usual choice, hard tyre for race 1, and then it's a bit of a mix between mediums and softs for race 2 and 3. So yeah, hards for top 3, top 4, 5, 6. Cutler's gone for a set of softs in race 1. Mediums on for Rob Scott. Okay, there's a couple of drivers on softs, alright. But it is usually hards. Down the side of Millerman's motor. Doesn't win best livery tonight, unfortunately. Who's best livery going to go to tonight? Well, if it's not got a great big dark smoker smashed down the side of it, then, you know. Chocolate Monster, Rob Scott, maybe. We do like his chocolate mobile. Look, a sneaky practice start, look. Tanso livery's pretty good. Should we just give it to Cutler because it's the Chewwitt Racing Mini Cooper Cup and he's driving in the Chewwitt Racing Cooper livery. Can't really see these boys. They're don't get a side-on profile while they're sat in the pits, unfortunately. Go then. 12 drivers tonight. Can Bajonski fend them all off into turn 1? Can D.90 sling one and get himself up front early, not early on? We'll see. Has got the inside line at turn 1 actually. D.Dot sits slightly further back on track though. See, where's the lights? Alright, can't actually see them. Thanks PlayStation. Oh, there you go, there's a red light. Waiting for that to drop and we'll get this one underway then. everybody gets away, nobody stuck on track either, that's good. So Pujonski does benefit then, he does stay in front. Through turn 1, Rob Scott's made a move, he's managed to get himself up into second position, past D-Dot already. Here they come then, barrelling down towards the second of the hairpins. A bit of a gap between the top two already, and the pack behind. Again, most drivers on the hard tyres. Pujonski, Rob Scott is on a set of mediums actually behind him, so we'll see whether he can put those to good use early on. Whether Pujonski can fend him off on a set of hards. D-Dot also on a set of hards in third, Cutler fourth, soft tyre. Ooh, DMK, DK10 taking a little bit of a shortcut by the looks of it. Aldo in fifth, he's got number 1 pops right up his chuff though as they head down this back straight. Should have stuck in the slipstream there, number 1 pops. When he make a move down towards the hairpin, again it's a short punchy track this one. Rob Scott's now looking for a move on the top spot. Up the inside he goes on Pujonski. Again, Pujonski running side by side, Cutler's looking to have a move on. Oh, he's run himself wide though, Cutler. Rob Scott does got himself through then. Pujonski has to drop into second. Those medium tyres working for Rob Scott. Pujonski's not letting him go lightly though. Right on his rear bumper as they head around turn 4. Paired up at the minute, so it is Rob Scott leading from Pujonski. The second pair of D-Dot and Cutler literally bumper to bumper. D-Dot having to go defensive into the hairpin. Aldo having to fend off number 1 pops and Millerman, 5th, 6th and 7th. It's a battle here, it's a drag race up this back straight between Aldo and Pops. Pops just wins out, Aldo slots in, Millerman thinks about a move on the inside, but backs out. IT43 in 9th then. He's got Ricky J up the inside, he's got Giraffe Head, Old Crawler and DMK DK10 trying to get past. IT43's gone deep. Has he kept it on track? Come on, camera. No, he's not. So drops himself to the back of the pack. Loses a lot of places there. Then IT43. Got a bit of time to try and catch up on these boys as well. So back up Scott, back up front, not back up Scott, back up front. Rob Scott then putting those mediums to use. Oh, Pujonski's under threat here from Cutler in the background, but Cutler just dips a wheel on the grass. Has to gather that back up. Leaves Pujonski in second place, but Cutler on the softer tyre. Should be able to make short work of Pujonski, trying to drop the toe then. Should be able to take the tighter lines. Doing a good job at the minute though, and there you go, just swings it up the inside, does Cutler. Maybe not quite got the, oh yes he has got the inside line, but he's run himself deep. Pujonski not able to break in time and slot one back up the inside, so he has to drop back into third then. Cutler now on the hunt for Rob Scott in front, 1.5 seconds. Softer tyre versus a medium tyre now. It's going to put Cutler at a disadvantage later in the other 2 races as he's blowing out his faster tyre now. Rob Scott still leading by 1.5 seconds. Cutler just getting past Pujonski then. Almost a second gap between those two. Pujonski struggling to keep it on track. D-Dot holding 4th by the skin of his teeth. Oh, sorry, wrong way. It is number 1 Pops that's managed to slot one up the inside. He's also out on a set of softs. So again, should make short work of the drivers on the hard tyres, especially around this tight track. D-Dot then moves down to 5th. Aldo 6th on the hards. Millerman on the hards in 7th. Tighter lines through there. Crawler on the hards as well. He's now got Ricky J, DMK 10, Giraffe Head and IT43 looking for a way through. He's to go on board with a bit of Old Crawler. See what it's like with the chaos and mayhem behind him. Ricky J closes up then down towards turn 5. Tight line there for Ricky J. towards a third of the hairpins on this circuit. Keeps a gap though, old crawler. Himself and Ricky J keep themselves just in front of that trio behind, so not under direct threat from those three. They're more worried about each other, I think. Ricky J doing anything he can to try and stick with old crawler up here. Gets a little bit of a toe. Tied to line as well. Doesn't benefit him though. Still half a second back, Ricky J. Back up front, the gap coming down ever so slightly, a tenth. Rob Scott's lost to Cutler. Medium versus the soft tyre battle here. Kajonski still holding on to third, but D-Dot has closed that gap up just a second between those two. He's managed to get himself back in front of number one Pops though. Number one Pops soft tyre starting to show a bit of wear. Scott loses another tenth. The tyre whisperer is putting his softs to good use. Gap down to 1.2. We're not even at the halfway point through race one. And again, Cutler brings the time down. With race leader Rob Scott then looking back at the chase of Cutler 182. Still just hanging around that 1.2 second mark between these two. Still some good punch-ups happening in the rest of the field as well. Let's go and have a look, see what's happening back there. And Millerman still battling it out. Those two drivers literally side by side. Oh, there we go. Not only were they side by side. Oh, a bit of contact I think between Giraffe Head and IT43. Oh, DMK DK10. Don't know what happened there. Looked like he'd bounced off of IT43. Ended up putting himself in the wall. That was a little bit odd there from DK10. Not sure what happened. Himself a bit of damage though with that wall contact. Back up front though, the gap is coming down. Rob Scott has got less than a second between himself and Cutler. 7 minutes remaining. Another tenth goes off Rob Scott's time. It goes down to 3/4 of a second then. Rob Scott do enough to blow Cutler's tyres out before he makes a move. He's looking a bit close at the minute, Cutler. The gap's still at 0.7. Rob Scott looks like he's trying to lose the toe for Cutler, but it's not going to be enough, I don't think. The gap comes down to half a second. Still doing a decent job on this set of mediums. Close that gap right up though. He's in a position to make a move here then. Pair of these drivers hard on the brakes into this second hairpin. Still 0.4 of a second. Cutler just biding his time, waiting for that long straight. Get right behind Rob Scott on the run up the back straight. Tight line there from Rob Scott, but it's going to mean he runs a little bit slower on the exit. How does that benefit Cutler? Gap at 0.4, drop in 0.3. Straight not quite long enough. Slings one at the inside. Cutler doesn't outbrake Rob Scott. Yes, he does. He makes Rob Scott outbrake himself. Leaves the door a little bit open. Cutler's not shy of slipping through those open doors either. And there he goes into first on that soft tyre. Now can Rob Scott push him hard enough to make a mistake? Starting to see a bit of wear on his softs. Jonski still holding on to third at the minute, 7.3 seconds back from those top two. Kept himself out of danger from D-Dot though, that gap now at 2.1 seconds. He's now got Aldo for company, just 3/4 of a second back. Millerman in 6th, 1.4 seconds back. We've got Old Crawler in 7th, another 3 seconds back. He's got Ricky J for company, just 0.6 of a second down. Old number 1 Pops, another 3.4 seconds down in 9th. IT43, 2.5 seconds back from number 1 Pops. Oh, looks like there's some yellow flag somewhere. DK10, unfortunately with that damage, he's going to be running a little bit slower than these boys, so losing time in 11th. We lost the driver. Who have we lost? Giraffe Head. Giraffe Head. Not sure what's happened to Giraffe Head. But he's gone. Rob Scott, though, keeping Cutler in check. Threatening to take that number 1 spot back, actually, Rob Scott. Cockpit view then from Rob Scott. Leading the championship at the minute is Rob. So he'll be looking to get as many points as possible. Cutler's working his way back through the field as well in the tight lines there from Cutler in the championship. Rob Scott then sneaks one up the inside. Tiny bit of door banging between those two. Rubbing his racing. Can Cutler hold on to that one? Still space given. Another little bit of a bump back. Oh, sorry about the camera view. It's a little bit wonky in this view. Let's go up and down as well. There you go. These two having a bit of a ding dong then. Giving each other a dent or two. Looking for those moves. 2 minutes remaining. Just over 2 minutes 20. Can Cutler fend off Rob Scott till the end of this race? Cutler's tyres still looking good for a set of softs. Rob Scott's just going to be feeling those mediums now. Cutler might just be able to start stretching a gap out. Jonski doing well on the hards, keeping himself out of danger. D-Dot under more pressure though from Aldo behind. It's hard versus hard tyre here. A bit more wear on D-Dot's tyres. Aldo has to hold on to 5th for the time being. Millerman just comes through first turn, 6th. 7th for Old Crawler, 8th for Ricky J. IT43 coming through in 9th. DK10 slot him on the up the inside of number 1 Pops there. Again, number 1 Pops on the soft tyre, absolutely bleeding with pain, those things. And DK10 goes through then on his hard with that damage. So yeah, must be a little mistake setting in for number 1 Pops on the beaten up set of softs. So a minute remains. This will be last lap then. Cutler has pulled himself a 1.3 second advantage over Rob Scott. That's not going to be able to pull that back without a mistake from Cutler. I think everyone's going to cross the line for this final lap. Gap does come down a little bit, back down to a second. Rob Scott really trying at the end of this race, but again, I just don't think it's going to be enough medium versus the soft tyre. Keeps that gap at 1.1. Everybody across the line then before the clock runs out. 15 seconds remaining. Still at 1.1 then. Cutler's just got this final turn to go. As long as he doesn't bin it. He's taking the win here in Tsukuba for race 1. right-hander to finish off. No threat then. Cutler takes the win. Rob Scott tried his hardest to take that win, but those soft tyres of Cutler's were just too much. Bajonski also did well. 3rd position, 4th for D-Dot, 5th for Aldo, 6th for Millerman, 7th for Old Crawler, 8th for Ricky J. IT43 is going to come home for 9th. DMK DK10 is going to take 10th. And unfortunately, number 1 Pops with his very, very beaten up set of softs comes home in 11th. And we've lost Giraffe Head, unfortunately. I didn't see anything pop up in chat, but I may not have been watching. He's still in the lobby. Maybe glitched out. Not sure. There we go. Race 1 done. So we'll have a little bit of a break. Drivers, the top 3 have to put on extra weight for race 2. So standard weight is 1050. And now the top 3 will be 1107, I believe, or 1105 for first place, 1097 for second place, and 1085 for third. Again, standard weight is 1050. So a little bit of success ballast for race 2. And again, top 3 from race 2 also have to carry over that same weight disadvantage into race 3. Obviously, everything gets reset after this race, but yeah, if you do come first, second, or third, then you have to rejig your weight up to those particular weights for the final race. So now Cutler will start at the back, and he will weigh 1107 kilos or 1105, whichever one it is. Rob Scott will now weigh 1097. Bajonski will weigh 1085. D-Dot got away with that one. No weight this week for D-Dot. So we'll see what tyres everyone sticks on for race 2. That's a good mix in race 1. Again, it's usually a set of hards for most drivers. 1 or 2 go for a set of mediums or softs or something. There seem to be a few in that race. I just picked up a new subscriber tonight. 625 it says now. I'm sure it said 624 when I clicked go. Thanks, whoever it is. Appreciated. Now if you can just get me 375 more, YouTube can pay me like 4 pence a year. There you go. Weight's just being thrown up on screen then. So top 3 ballast first is, oh, it's 1105, okay. Second is 1097, and third place is 1085. Again, standard weight is 1050. So although you get the more points, it puts you at a slight disadvantage for the following race. All weights get reset for next week. No drivers carry over from week to week. I better get myself on track. Ah, Giraffe Head's back in the room. Yeah, not sure what happened. Decent day out to Donington yesterday anyway, people. You should have come. Nice weather, decent racing. The trucks were awesome. It's insane to watch those things ripping around at 100 miles an hour and then crashing. Yeah, it's different. Saw old Jimmy Broadbent ripping round as well. He was there with the Praga Cup. We didn't get to see him personally, but yeah, we saw his race. Old Jimmer. Yeah, unfortunately, we went to sort of show support for the Team Oliver Racing Wednesday League sponsors, but the father and son team had a little bit of an accident. The son accidentally nudged dad into the wall. It wasn't son's fault, but it was, yeah, and he broke his truck very, very badly. Apart from that, it was some awesome racing. Right, let's get ourselves back on track. Yep. That was interesting, wasn't it? So how bad the lobbies are getting now? They've forgotten to load stuff in. IT43 then looks like he's going for softs for race 2, hards for Rob Scott. He's already blown the mediums out. Pajonski's gone for the softs for race 2. Millerman's gone for the mediums. Ricky J's gone for the softs. Aldo's gone for the softs. Mediums for Aldo. Softs for IT43. Cutler's gone for the hards. DK10 has gone for the softs. Mediums for Old Crawler. Mediums for Giraffe Head. And mediums for Old Pops. Why do I call you Old Pops? I get Old Crawler and number 1 Pops mixed up. Right, here we go. Race 2 just about to get underway. Another 15-minute sprint here at Tsukuba. Reverse grid. Now, boys. Now. And again, top 3 drivers from race 1 carrying that extra weight, so it doesn't help their tyre wear any. Giraffe Head going to lead us out then. Unfortunately, we lost him in race 1. Well, I lost him at least. But he does start at the... ended at the back, so he does start at the front. The red light's on. We wait for that to drop. Hopefully everyone gets away. And they're off. Everyone does get away. Does Giraffe Head manage to hold the lead? No, he doesn't. Number 1 Pops slots himself through into first place. Giraffe Head's got a little bit squirrely on turn 1. Almost loses a place to IT43. IT43 not able to carry the speed through there, so it is number 1 Pops then takes the lead. Giraffe Head's second. Ricky J and IT43 battling for third as they come through turn 4. It is going to be Ricky J, I think. No, it's not. IT43 keeps it up the inside into turn 5. Good battle already. DK10 looking for a way through on this battle as well, but J holding on to it for the time being. DK10 runs a little bit wide through there. Millerman thinks about having a go. Nearly 3 wide up this back straight. Nowhere for Millerman to go at the minute. He's just benefiting from a toe off both of these. Crawler in 7th doing the same thing. Pajonski then in 8th. Just to pull away from Cutler and Rob Scott, who are having a bit of a battle behind. They have managed to make their way past Aldo and D-Dot already. D-Dot now at the back of the pack. Aldo swinging his way to the inside, dropping the toe for D-Dot, taking the inside line as well, but D-Dot's saying, I'm not having that, I'm just going to drive around the outside of you. And he does so, gets himself up then, does D-Dot into 11th position. So back up front, number 1 Pop still leading the way. Medium tyres on board. He's got 1.4 seconds over Giraffe Head. Giraffe Head's pulled a bit of a gap as well. 1.2 seconds between himself and 3rd place. DMK10 goes wide again through the hairpin. IT43 goes through this time. We'll have the inside line into this next turn as well. IT43. Unfortunately, DK10, because he's taken the wide line on the way in, puts himself under more pressure now from Millerman and Pajonski behind. It's IT43 that goes a little bit deep this time. DK10 comes back at him. And it's all kicking off in the back of the pack as well. We've got D-Dot, Cutler, Rob Scott, and Aldo all battling it out. D-Dot around the outside of Cutler. Now on the inside, gets himself up into 9th position. Was at the back of the pack last time we were looking. Just got himself past Aldo, Rob Scott, and Cutler all at the same time. Cutler runs a bit deep. It's now 3 wide on the exit of that hairpin. Not quite. D-Dot gets himself through though, pulls a gap from that battle behind. Back up front, the more pops now 2.1 second lead. Giraffe Head under threat from IT43. There's a big pile of drivers. 43 looks up the inside. Giraffe Head gives him plenty of room. Can he carry the speed around the outside? Giraffe Head. Can holds on to that second position. Oh, Millerman slings one up the inside. A little bit tight that gap, unfortunately. That's caused all sorts of chaos in the order. Pajonski gets himself through that chaos into 3rd position. J 4th, Roll Crawler 5th, IT43 6th, D-Dot 7th, Millerman drops all the way down to 8th position. DK10 in 9th. It was worth a move there, Millerman, but maybe coming in a tiny bit too hot. Just thought about it a little bit too late, not too sure. And then Cutler, Aldo, Rob Scott battling it out behind. Aldo now at the inside of Cutler. Just going to look to drive around the outside again, but Aldo's going to have the inside line running down to turn 1. Scott trying to do anything he can to close up, make a move. Again, Cutler, Rob Scott and Pajonski all carrying over extra weight. Rob Scott manages to get his way through past Cutler. Off all over. Number 1 pops, then still leading 3 seconds. Pajonski though, just does he get himself through into 2nd, side by side with Giraffe Head through turn 5. Gets himself in front down towards this 3rd hairpin. Oh, Ricky J has a look at Giraffe Head as well, but Giraffe Head keeps the power on. Keeps himself in 3rd. Crawler in 4th now, Ricky J 5th, IT43 in 6th, D-Dot in 7th. So hauling his way through the field in a minute, D-Dot. Millerman in 8th, DK10 in 9th. Aldo managed to pull a little bit of a gap in 10th. Cutler and Rob Scott still neck and neck in 11th and 12th. This 2.9 seconds. Number 1 pops has got a set of mediums, decent amount of wear on those. Pajonski on the softs though should be able to close that gap up. Giraffe Head holding off these drivers, holding on to that 3rd position. Just got to take the defensive lines and hope nobody gets the slipstream on this back straight. Able to do it here. He's on the set of mediums as well, Giraffe Head. He has got Crawler, IT43 and D-Dot he's got to worry about though. Slouches behind the wheel. Ricky J as well in 7th. Millerman and DK10 still just got to bomb themselves on the back end of this little pack. Aldo again off the pace at the minute, still pulling time over the battle behind between Cutler and Rob Scott. A tiny bit of a gap developing there as well, just half a second though. More on pops though, losing a bit of time. Pajonski starting to close up on him, 2.3 seconds. third in race 1 did Pujonski, second place or a possible first, or they're doing the world of good in the points standings, especially while two of his main rivals, Cutler and Rob Scott, are having a bit of a punch up at the back of the pack. There they are, still neck and neck, 11th and 12th. Now 2.5 seconds down from the battle in front. So who will also be thinking about maximum points in this race? D.90. Again up there in the championship standings, while the two rivals, Cutler and Rob Scott, are battling out. He'll be wanting to try and get through the field and get as many points as possible. But it's looking like it's all about Pujonski in race 2. Again, Giraffe Head still fending off this pile of drivers behind him. 3 seconds back from second place Pujonski, but he is fending off Old Crawler, IT43, D. Millerman and Ricky J, and DMK DK10. Nobody managed to get past him yet then. 6 minutes 20 remaining. Oh, here we go, IT43 goes up the inside. What can Giraffe Head do about that? Anything? No, IT43 then gets the run on him down the straight, on the inside line into the next turn. D. sees the door open, thinks about slinging one up the inside, but doesn't quite make it stick, but he does close the gap up into 5th then for D. Takes 2 more positions, he's on the podium. Real good mid-pack battle between these boys then. IT43 just making his way past Giraffe Head to take 3rd. Did a good job actually, Giraffe Head. 2/3 of the race, managed to, well, he was 2nd for most of it. And 3rd for a little bit, and unfortunately he's just dropped down to 4th. D-Dot right on his tail as well as they head up here. Slings one up the inside. Not quite. Giraffe Head knows exactly how long his mini is. Cuts back in front of D-Dot. D-Dot now has a run down into turn 1. He's carrying extra speed, so he should get this position done. Let's change that view up a little bit. Giraffe Head comes back at him, but D-Dot stomps on the accelerator, keeps himself in front. Unfortunately, Giraffe Head loses another position there though. D-Dot moves up the field. More points on the board for him. Pujonski really is the man he's got to worry about. He's chasing down IT43. There is Pujonski, and number 1 Pops just in front, so the gaps are closing back up. Let's go and see what the gap is up front. Number 1 Pops then still leading 1.6 seconds over Pujonski. Pujonski pushing his soft tyres, a fair bit of wear showing on those now. He's just got to make sure he controls it around these tight turns while he's on the chase. 1.6 seconds between himself and IT43 in 3rd, and another 1.3 seconds back to D-Dot in 4th position. Giraffe Head unfortunately loses another position. Millerman just gets the run on him down the straight. Into 5th for Millerman, Giraffe Head 6th. A bit slow out of there as well. Old Crawler's looking to have a run on him. Gets through. Does he? No, runs a little bit wide. He's carrying a bit of speed down towards turn 5 though. Got the inside line. Old Crawler gets through to 6th though. Giraffe Head, a little bit of off-track action. Dirty tyres and not running as fast as these other drivers. He's losing all sorts of positions then. He's going to end up in 10th if he's not careful. Ricky J is looking at the inside into this final turn. Gets it. Giraffe Head then unfortunately nudged down to 10th. He has It's got Rob Scott and Cutler closing up as well. Got to be careful, doesn't want to be ghosting out for too long, but Giraffe Head has left the room now. One pops under pressure, loses it through the second of the hairpins. Pajonski side by side with him, IT43 right there too. It's soft tyre versus beaten up soft tyre versus semi-worn medium here. Pajonski runs around the outside, IT43 runs around the outside as well. Number one Pops has to drop back into third position. Pajonski now race leader, followed by IT43 in second. One Pops hanging on to those two. D-Dot in fourth, 1.2 seconds back. Still got Millerman right on his tail, just quarter of a second back. Trawler in sixth, DMK DK 10th, 7th, Aldo 8th, Ricky J 9th, Rob Scott 10th. And now big gap between himself and Cutler, 2.4 seconds. That extra weight in the hard tyre costing Cutler. Unfortunately, if it ends like this, it does mean he starts the last race from the back. So back up front, Pajonski still fending off IT43. Worn out set of softs on Pajonski's car versus IT43's lovely looking, almost fresh set here, look. Maybe we've got a challenger for the tyre whisperer. IT43 looking to run around the outside. And gets it done. Into first, Pajonski has to drop into second. And when they cross the line, it will become final lap. Pajonski will have one opportunity to do it in the minutes coming up. IT43 though, just able to carry so much more speed through that turn. The gap already extended up to 3/4 of a second. Happened here though, D-Dot 90 just about into third. He's side by side with Millerman. Number one Pops, unfortunately losing a couple more positions there. D-Dot holds that third though. Millerman fourth, good exit there, but D-Dot's got the inside line. Now can number one Pops stay in fifth? No more mistakes. Old Crawler in sixth, DMK in seventh, Ricky J 8th, Rob Scott 9th. Cutler 10th. Aldo's got it all wrong somewhere. Oh, he's into the wall. He's picked up damage. But here we go. Final straight coming up. The drivers all close back up. IT43 just got this final turn to go. Again, where's a little bit wide there from IT43. Does there's Aldo does take the win then. Pajonski second position, Millerman takes third, D-Dot fourth, Old Pops number one Pops done it again, number one Pops fifth, Old Crawler sixth, DMK DK 10th, 7th, Ricky J 8th, Rob Scott in 9th, Cutler 10th, and unfortunately Aldo, he's binned it somewhere, and he's a lap down now unfortunately, and yeah, we lost Giraffe Head in that one. Cars are glitching down pit exit. Oh, sorry, pit entrance backwards. Interesting. So, race 2 done. Another little break, and then we get race 3 underway. Another 15 minutes. Again, race positions are race positions from race 2. The final positions will be the grid positions for race 3, not reverse, as they were. Which puts IT43 on pole, Pajonski in second. Who was third? Millerman third, D-Dot fourth. Could be a great big shake-up in the tables. Rob Scott and Cutler not gaining that many points in race 2. Again, starting from the back in race 3, near as damn it at the back. me get myself in. Good to see a strong lobby tonight. Ricky J might win livery of the night. He's got the biggest dark smoker sticker on there, I think. Let me in. Final sets of tyres going on then. Last race of the evening. Again, the top three from race 2 carry over that success ballast, so 11.05 kilos for the winner. Second place will be 10.97 and third place will be 10.85. So that will be IT43, Pajonski and Millerman first, second and third from race 2. Carry that extra weight over. Track then. What has he got? IT43. What tyres have you got? Set of mediums on then. Jonski's got the mediums 2, Millerman's got the softs, starting in third. Ricky J's got the mediums, Rob Scott's got his softs to play with last race. Again, starts from quite far back actually, Rob Scott. Cutler, unfortunately, has already blown out his set of softs in race 1. Went for hards in race 2, so only the mediums left to play with, and starting from almost the back for Cutler. Situation for Rob Scott, starts very near the back. Carried a little bit too much chocolate in race 2, I think. Or is that what you and Cutler were doing, passing it between the two of you? Open windows, just flinging dairy milks between yours and his car. Ricky J's got 4 dark smoker stickers on. He wins. One on the boot, one on each side, and swashed across that front grille. Look, Ricky J wins. So still a driver short, I think. Who is it? Ricky Pajonsk. Is it Cutler? Yes, it is. Come on, Miller, man. Add some extra weight, damn it. In the pits. So we've just got to wait for Millerman to set his ballast from race 2. We'll get the third race of the evening underway. Track, sitting at the right weight now as well, Millerman. Oof. Rob Scott pile driving. D.90. Well, someone's got a probe tonight. We haven't got Alien Swift for any probing, so Bob Scott will have to do. So here we go then. Final race of the evening about to start. Can't get in there, D-Dot. Another 15 minutes here at Tsukuba. Race 2 was pretty tightly packed, to be honest. All closed up at the end. Number 1 Pops tried his hardest to get the win. He managed to lead it for an awful long time, but some of the other drivers just managed to close him up. Here we go then. The lights are on red. We'll wait for them to go green. Get this final race underway. We're away. Oh, it's not a great start there from IT43. Maybe just not expecting that extra ballast to cause him so much trouble. Pajonsky and D-Dot looking for top spot already. D-Dot has managed to get himself through just, but has he though? Pajonsky up the inside into turn 4. Lead. Medium tyres on board for Pajonsky. D-Dot on mediums as well. Millerman in third on a set of softs. D-Dot looking to run around the outside of Pajonsky. Down in towards this last hairpin of the circuit. Oh, we've got penalties already for some drivers. I'm not sure what's happening. IT43 then from top spot down into 4th position. Lap 1. Old Crawler 5th. Rob Scott in 6th. Cutler 7th. DMK Aldo in 8th, DK10 in 9th, Ricky J in 10th, and number 1 Pops in 11th. Hard tyres on for number 1 Pops. Oh, Ricky J going sideways through that final turn. Does a bit of drifting, gets himself back on track, but loses a lot of ground early on though. Bit of time to make that time up, but we are already a minute and a half into this 15-minute race. Slinging it in there on the mediums for Ricky J. Back up front then, Pajonsky still leads from D-Dot. Still got Millerman right there as well, looking for a position. IT43 then fending off the mid-pack. At the minute he's got Old Crawler, Rob Scott and Cutler, sorry, Aldo and DMK, DK10 for company. Cutler goes a bit deep, Aldo looks up the inside. Cutler carries the speed though. Aldo being in a good position to get the slingshot on him into the final turn, we'll see. And Cutler manages to pull a bit of time. He closes upon Rob Scott in front. Almost pushing him around that final turn. Rob Scott's going to have to go defensive here. Peels over to the right hand side. Doesn't want to leave the door open for Cutler, which he doesn't. Cutler will be able to take the faster line through there though. Nowhere for him to go, even if he gets past Rob Scott. Got 2 drivers in front of him. Back up front, we've missed the lead change. D-Dot's got himself up front. Got a bit deep through there though. Pajonsky looks to come back. Millerman tries to slot one down the middle. Top 3 then starting to pull away from that pack behind. Oh, still jostling for position though. It is slowing them down a little bit. Pajonsky side by side almost with D-Dot. Fortunately, Millerman's now in the slipstream. Pajonsky loses a position, then drops down to 3rd. Still in touch though with those top 2. Scott into 4th. Cutler up the inside of IT43 for 5th. IT43 6th now. Crawler all over the back end of him as well. Again, IT43 carrying over that extra weight from race 1. Cutler's gone deep into turn 1. IT43 slots one back up the inside. Can he carry the speed though? Side by side, Cutler, his car a little bit lighter on the faster tyre as well. Into turn 4 he goes, holds on to 5th. IT43 in 6th then. Old Crawler 7th, Aldo 8th, DMK, DK10 in 9th, number 1 Pops in 10th. Ricky J then looking to close up 11th, 3.2 seconds back. Oh, D-Dot's run wide. Millerman goes through to take the race lead. Rob Scott and Pjonski battling it out for third and fourth. Pjonski loses another position, down to fourth position here. Now got Cutler chasing him down as well. What can Millerman do? Can he make a break for it? D-Dot holding that second position, just under 0.4 of a second. Rob Scott looks to go up the inside of D-Dot. Doesn't make it stick. Pjonski right there with him. Cutler right there with him. IT43 doing as best he can with that extra weight, but now got drivers to contend with behind. Millerman then holds them off. D-Dot also staying in second. Rob Scott holds that third position. Pjonski fourth. Cutler fifth. Spread out a tiny little bit. Again, still battling for these positions. Crawler, Aldo, DMK, DK10 still right there with old Crawler. Number one Pops. 10th, 4.47 back. Ricky J is closing up on number one Pops as well. 9.5 minutes remaining for Ricky J to try and get something back from this race. So on board with race leader Millerman, looking back at the chasing pack. D-Dot, Rob Scott, Pjonski and Cutler. Starting to pull a little bit of a gap here then, Millerman. 0.8 of a second. Of minis hunting down this top spot. Closes up under braking. D-Dot goes a little bit deep. Rob Scott able to, not quite able to get one up the inside by the skin of his teeth. D-Dot, but again that slowed them down. The gap almost at a second between Millerman and D-Dot. I don't want to let him get too far up the road, otherwise he's almost broken the slipstream now. Rob Scott, though, takes a tighter line through the final turn. Gets that position off of D-Dot. Gets himself into second. D-Dot now third. Cutler's also got his way past Pjonski into fourth. Pjonski gets pushed down to fifth now. Again, Millerman just keeping himself out of danger. Can Rob Scott close this gap up on him? Soft tyres on board for Millerman though. I think Rob Scott's on the mediums. Are you, Rob? Let's have a... Oh no, Rob Scott's also on the softs. So, can he make it work for him? Can he close that gap up on Millerman in front? Fend off a D-Dot while he's there. Gap at 0.7 of a second then between Rob Scott and top spot Millerman. Down again, 0.5 of a second. Rob Scott is slowly closing the gap, breaking the way from the drivers behind as well. We'll stay on board with this fight for the time being. It might only be a couple of corners time before Rob Scott makes a move. No mistakes from Millerman yet. That turn nicely, Millerman. So can Rob Scott get close enough to make the move up this back straight? 0.4 of a second in it. I don't think that's close enough. I know he has got a better exit. 0.3 of a second. It's a short little straight. He thinks about the move, but again, there you go. Corner coming up. Millerman just holds on to it. Rob Scott, can he carry the speed out, get up the inside before turn one? He has done it as well. Gets himself through. Millerman, is he able to come back? Rob Scott closes the door on him. Down to the second of the hairpins. Nowhere for Millerman to go. Rob Scott first, then Millerman now second. D-Dot in third behind. Still got Cutler and Pajonski battling out for fourth and fifth. Let's have a run through then. Over the halfway point, Rob Scott leads just. Millerman second. D-Dot in third. Cutler fourth. Pajonski still looking for a way through in fifth. Aldo sixth. IT43 unfortunately losing another position down to seventh. Again, I think that extra weight's just catching him out in this final race. Old Crawler in eighth, closing up as well on IT43. DK10 right on Old Crawler's bumper, so IT43's got to be a little bit careful here. Number one Pops in 10th, another 4.8 seconds back, and Ricky J not closing up as quickly as he'd like, still 2.3 seconds back. Unfortunately, getting it all wrong early on. Ricky J, I don't know whether there was any kind of contact. Just sort of kicking up the dust. Down towards turn 4. Back up front then. Rob Scott has still managed to fend off Millerman. Again, pair of drivers on soft tyres. D-Dot on mediums in third. Cutler mediums for fourth. Pajonski mediums for fifth. Bumper to bumper action from these three. Spinning the wheels up there from Cutler and Pajonski. D-Dot having to go defensive. There they all are. Just stretched out through the back half of the field then. Top two have managed to pull away now. Rob Scott now 1.1 seconds away from Millerman. Millerman's another 2 seconds ahead of D-Dot. D-Dot was slinging himself across the track to try and drop the toe for Cutler and Pajonski, but it's not done him any good. Still 0.4 of a second. Pajonski all over the back of Cutler. Nothing in it between these three. Again, they're so consistent that it's going to take the tiniest of little mistakes. Just covering off all those gaps, not leaving the door open for anyone. Again, D-Dot slings himself across the track, trying to drop the toe for these two drivers. Towards this final turn we come then. 3 minutes left on the race clock. D-Dot runs a little bit wide through there. Cutler not quite able to get one up the inside. Pajonski runs quickly on the exit though. Again, D-Dot has to go tight. Absolutely nothing in it between these three. Aldo's actually closing the gap up on these three drivers. 2.2 seconds back at the minute. Just keep taking defensive lines like that, and Aldo might be hot on their heels by the time they get to the checkered flag. Rob Scott pulled another 10th from Millerman, 1.2, now 1.3 seconds up front. Millerman holding that second. Cutler gets himself through just about, but unfortunately D-Dot carries the speed. Cutler leaves the door wide open, but Pajonski now slots his way back through into fourth position. Get one on the inside of D-Dot through this turn. Not quite. Cutler's looking for the tighter line. They're almost going to be, all three of them were looking to make the move. D-Dot trying to close the door, but Pajonski's kept it open. Thank you very much. He gets himself through into third. Unfortunately, that's left the door open as well for Cutler to make a move. D-Dot gets squidged down to fifth position. So Pajonski trying to claw his way back. D-Dot slings one up the inside of Cutler through turn 4. Then Cutler's going to carry the speed through into turn 5 though. It's a brave move from D-Dot, trying to push Cutler into making a mistake. Oh, fast through there. D-Dot's got to be careful, carrying so much speed on the grass. Got to know you can control it. Gets a good run out of that turn though. Is it going to be enough up this back straight? No. Look, Cutler getting the toe from Pajonski in front has just caused D-Dot to lose a little bit more time. Not able to close up. So this will become last lap, I think, for all drivers. It is now Rob Scott, 2.1 seconds. He's now got over Millerman. 40 seconds left on the race clock. Millerman going to be comfortable in second. But Jonski's now got a gap. And it has now turned into a three-way fight for fourth. Cutler, D-Dot and Aldo. D-Dot running wide again. Aldo now goes through. Aldo now looking for that fourth position off of Cutler as well. Again, this will become final. This is final lap. Just this straight in the final turn to go. So it is going to be Rob Scott for the win. I want to keep an eye on this fight here though. Like Aldo's going to take that one, but Rob Scott comes through that final turn then. Comes across the line to take the win in race 3. Millerman's going to come home to take second backwards. Jonski holds on to third. Cutler takes fourth. Aldo takes fifth. D-Dot sixth. IT43 takes seventh. DK10 takes eighth. Old Crawler takes ninth. Number 1 Pops takes 10th. And Ricky J closed that gap right up, but not enough before the end of the race. Takes 11th, just half a second back. There you go, round 7 of the Chewwitt Racing Mini Cooper Cup. Done and done. Some good racing tonight. Again, it's a good track, flipping at the sparks and cars going at 5 million miles an hour. Yeah, some good racing here at Tsukuba. It's a tight, punchy track, like I say. Plenty of opportunities to sling one up the inside in the hairpins, as long as obviously the door's open. And there it is. Round 7, done and dusted. Why are things happening that I don't want to happen? Stop things happening. Stop it. I don't want those things. Alright. Those things are there. So yes, that's pretty much going to be it from me tonight. We are back same time, same place next week for round 8. Forget where that is. I always forget where that is. I always do. Never mind. But yes, same time, same place next week for round 8 of the Chewwitt Racing Mini Cooper Cup. Come and check it out. If you want to help my channel out, get yourselves over to buymeacoffee.com/darksmoke and drop some donations on there. But I'd much rather you give me a shout via email at darksmoker@googlemail.com, and for the same price as buy me a coffee, I can send you out some stickers. So that's about the size of that. Yeah, stickers and t-shirts still available, people, so hit me up if you want any of those. Other than that, I hope you've liked what you've watched. If you have, give it a like, comment, subscribe, tell your mates, tell your mums. My name's Dark Smoker. I'm out of here.